My background is I'm an engineer, but I got into coffee from my home.
What's your name and what line of business are you in?
My name's Fraser. I run Fraser's Coffee Roasters here in Sheffield. We're a conventional coffee roastery. We supply to businesses and we also supply to the retail as well for like customers.
Amazing. And how long have you been in business for?
This will be year 11 now, so we've been doing this for 11 years. So I started the business as a small enterprise, just me on my own. But then for the last 11 years, it's grown to now where we've got multiple sites. We supply to a lot of wholesale businesses throughout Sheffield, South Yorkshire. So started very humbly, but we got somewhere in 11 years, yeah.
Amazing. And what made you choose coffee and coffee shops, and what's the reason for that?
My background is I'm an engineer, but I got into coffee from my home. So my mum always had good coffee in the house. And during like deciding what career I wanted to do and where I wanted to go, coffee was always something I did in the background. And I felt that my city, where I grew up, doesn't really have a good option for that. So that's why I decided to open it up, so I could offer that what I'd learned at home and from other people in my community, and offer that to the local area. And that's a very humble beginning, really. Yeah.
That's really amazing. So for somebody who wants to like get into coffees and maybe wants to start a coffee shop as well, who's just starting out, like what advice do you have for him or her?
Oh yeah, so educate yourself. There's loads of information out there. So education, I think, is key. So understanding the industry, what makes coffee great, why there's a difference in commercial and specialty, and that education, so you can understand obviously your industry, is a really good place to start. So whether that be working in coffee shops, working with coffee companies, getting some time to get in that industry, as well as spending your own time educating yourself about your own palate, where that may go, that's so valuable.
One more question. So throughout the 11 years, what are some like the hardships that you went through and like the biggest learnings that you could share with us?
I think the biggest pressure is the instability of the world in the last 5 years. We've obviously gone through a cost of living crisis. Previous to that was COVID, and they're unforeseen events, I would say, that most entrepreneurs wouldn't expect to see. What I learned from that is just maintaining, sticking our lane. This is what we do. People will always want it, but being adaptable. And I've learned to be a lot more flexible with how we approach our business. We may have sold what we do in one certain way, but then we've had to change that and become more of an online retailer or more in-person retailer, and change that approach to make sure that we're still offering a service and be humble about that. That was a really hard lesson to learn, because you've got this great idea of I want to do great things and do it in this way, but then you've got to adapt to kind of change with the market and the world that's following you. The hardest things for me was originally starting to hire staff. I don't come from a background of business. Come from very humble beginnings, but trying to hire staff and make sure that I can offer people a nice place to work, be part of something, and essentially learn how to do that. And educate myself. That was really hard. That wasn't the easiest of things, and it's something I have to practice at and made sure I got to a right standard. So I would say they're the two biggest challenges I've probably faced in business over the years.
Amazing. Thank you for your time, Fraser.
My pleasure, Abdul. Always a pleasure, mate.